Hello history lovers and welcome back. Today, as you can see from the title and the thumbnail, I will be doing something a bit different. At the time of writing this in the UK, we are currently counting down the days until the coronation of King Charles III and Queen Camilla. And let me tell you, guys, the hype is real. Shops have gone crazy with merchandise, and everybody's probably a little bit too excited about the release of the invitation. So today, I thought we would take a look at the previous coronation that took place 70 years ago, in 1953, which of course was the coronation of King Charles's dear mama, Queen Elizabeth II. In 1952, King George VI was suffering with lung cancer and his health was failing him. As a result, he was forced to abandon a proposed Commonwealth tour. His heir apparent, Princess Elizabeth, accompanied by her husband Prince Philip, took the King's place and departed from London Airport on the 31st of January 1952. The Princess Elizabeth did not know that this would be the last time she would see her father, as she waves goodbye to her country and her people. On the 6th of February 1952, while in Kenya, the first country on the Commonwealth tour, Princess Elizabeth would receive horrific and life-changing news. Her father, King George VI, had died in his sleep, and in an instant she was elevated from princess to Queen of the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. In turn, she would take on all of the responsibilities which came with the new title, and later that year, the date was set for the coronation at Westminster Abbey, and preparations began for the ceremony. Following the news of her father's passing, the tour was abandoned and the 25-year-old Queen flew back to Britain. When she arrived, she was greeted by Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister at the time, and other officials before returning to the royal residence of Clarence House. On the eve of her coronation, the Queen made a radio broadcast to the Commonwealth, something that we wouldn't bat an eyelid today, but something that was revolutionary at the time. Monarchs had rarely done something so intimate with their subjects. In the broadcast, she said,
"Throughout all my life and with all my heart, I shall strive to be worthy of your trust,"
pledging her devotion to her people, which was reminiscent of the speech that she made on her 21st birthday.
"I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service."
People camped out along the Mall the day before the coronation to catch a glimpse of the Queen, and in true British fashion, it was raining. But despite the wet, these people were still there in support of their monarch. Let me know your plans for the coronation weekend in the comment section below. I would love to know if anyone's actually planning on camping out in the Mall, or if you're going to be like me, watching it from the comfort of your sofa with a glass of champers. Okay, so this statistic, I have seen various numbers. The royal family website said that there was 7,000 people. However, I read an article in The Sun yesterday and it said over 8,000 people. So about 7,000 to 8,000 people had seats within Westminster Abbey, and they had to arrive before 7 a.m. The coronation took place in Westminster Abbey on the 2nd of June 1953, conducted by Dr. Geoffrey Fisher, Archbishop of Canterbury. Her Majesty was anointed by the Archbishop and took her oath to
maintain and preserve inviolably the settlement of the Church of England and the doctrine, worship, discipline and government thereof, as the law established in England.
Unlike a queen consort, the husband of a reigning queen is not crowned or anointed at the coronation ceremony, unless you're William and Mary and decide to have a co-monarchy. However, Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, was the first peer to do homage or pay respects to the Queen, immediately after the Archbishop and bishops. The coronation was broadcast on radio around the world and, at the Queen's request, was the first coronation to be televised. It was the first time that average Joes like myself could see the splendour of a royal coronation. Although I couldn't see it because I wasn't born yet, but I now have footage to look at afterwards. As before this, the ceremony had been off limits unless you were one of the 7,000/8,000 inside. An estimated 27 million people in Britain alone watched the ceremony on TV, and 11 million listened on the radio. The population of Britain at the time was just over 36 million, and the coronation route had journalists from 92 nations. On the journey to Westminster Abbey, the Queen wore the state diadem, a circlet of diamonds, which she went on to wear for the state opening of Parliament throughout her reign. Elizabeth was crowned with the St. Edward's crown at the service, and when she departed the Abbey, she wore the imperial state crown. The imperial state crown was originally made for Queen Victoria's coronation in 1838. It incorporates many gemstones, including the diamond known as the Second Star of Africa, the Black Prince's ruby, the Stuart sapphire, St. Edward's sapphire, and Queen Elizabeth's pearls. The coronation dress was designed by Sir Norman Hartnell, and Her Majesty went on to wear it at several occasions to make sure that it was seen throughout the Commonwealth. The coronation bouquet, or bucket, let me know in the comments if you get that joke, was presented to the Queen by the Worshipful Company of Gardeners to take with her on her journey to Westminster Abbey. The all-white bouquet comprised orchids and lilies of the valley from England, stephanotis from Scotland, I hope that's right, stephanotis, and carnations from Northern Ireland and the Isle of Man, with additional orchids from Wales. A coronation procession took place through London after the service, designed so that the Queen and her procession could be seen by as many people as possible. The 7.2 kilometre route took the 16,000 participants 2 hours to complete. The procession itself stretched for 3 kilometres. Crowds of people viewed the procession despite the heavy rain. At midnight, the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh made their last of many appearances that day on the floodlit balcony of Buckingham Palace, followed by a firework display. The royal family also posed for a picture which fills my heart with warmth, to see all of their happy faces, and in that picture, you can see a very young Princess Anne and her elder brother, Charles, our King. The coronation is a joyous celebration for us Brits, and not just because we get a bank holiday, although God save the King, but the royal family and all the regalia and all the trappings that go with it. It's just something that's in our DNA and makes us quintessentially British. It's odd because I was going around the shops with my nan and all of the shops have gone OTT with the coronation merch. As you might have guessed, I like the royal family as it kind of goes hand in hand with royal history. My nan, on the other hand, is completely anti-royalist and could not care less. But even she was starting to get caught up in the celebration, and she actually bought some coronation merch. She got a bear who is dressed like a king with his little robe and crown. It's actually quite cute. I don't know if the Spanish feel the same way with their royal family. The French obviously didn't. But they bring a joy and excitement that I can't explain, and I feel like you can't really understand unless you are British or a massive fan of the royal family. I don't think anything shows this better than the sound of the crowd in London as the Queen passes them, or how they all rush to the gates of Buckingham Palace to see the Queen and her family on the balcony, and you can hear them chanting, "We want the Queen! We want the Queen!" Question is, do I think Charles will bring the same phenomena of camping in the rain and loud cheers? Yes, I think he will. But unfortunately, I think his mother's coronation will outshine his own. I mean, we won't know until the 6th of May. But ultimately, does it matter? No. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II is a hard act to follow. She was our longest reigning monarch ever, and the Commonwealth's grandma. We all lost a family member when she died. Whereas Charles has caused controversy in his youth and divides opinion. His wife and Queen also divides people depending on whether you're a Diana diehard. Elizabeth was a young, fresh 25-year-old when she became Queen. Charles is ascending as a pensioner. But I think more importantly, they are two different people with two different agendas and outlooks on life. So although we can spend all day comparing the two, Charles will rule in a way he sees fit. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe. And please let me know what your plans for the coronation weekend are. Next week we'll be back to our normal Tudor schedule, but until then, have a wonderful day.